Hi everyone. As I reflect on my law school journey, I know the most rewarding experience for me is learning to persevere. We all come from all different walks of life, and me, especially as a non-traditional student, I came in with a family. I actually had a baby during the second year, and then I got divorced. And so being a single parent, working full-time, pushing through, you want to give up most days. So you have to learn that you've got to continue finding your peace, whatever that may be, meditating, praying, just taking a moment for self-care, and you push through one day at a time and continue to persevere, because once you get to the end, you will not realize, where the time is gone, and then all of a sudden you've accomplished so much. You can look back and reflect on giving your best, continuing to push through, and just really persevering.
As I reflect on my experience at the law school here, one specific moment I can think of that shaped how I look at case law and how to be a lawyer is a famous torts case called Pluth v. Putnam, where in it there was a boat that had to go to a dock because of a tempest, and a tempest is a bad storm that arises very quickly. So the lesson that we learned from that is, even if you think you know what it means through context clues, you always look up the word of and find the actual definition of it and use Black's Law if you can.
My one moment or experience that shaped me most is I am a DV survivor and I'm a single mom. And so coming to school, being a non-traditional student was very difficult. And during that journey, I kept getting the messaging in my head of imposter syndrome, of not feeling enough. And I did a lot of work with CASA, and it wasn't until my con law class that I walked in and the professor I had seen seated had been a sit-in judge for my judge for CASA, and it was like being home again. And Professor Malampati really connected with me, and I finally felt safe. And I spoke with her about my imposter syndrome, and since then I have felt super connected. And
I remember one thing in particular that shaped the way that I felt about law school in general. It was a Civ Pro class, and I hadn't read, and I got called on. I didn't know anything about the case at all. I still had to brief it, I had to read it. There were long pauses for me to read. It was uncomfortable, it was a little bit awkward, but I survived. And with that, I kind of learned that you don't have to feel as much pressure. You don't have to take yourself as seriously as you think you do. Like, it's important that you let yourself fail and that you experience that, and it'll ultimately result in you being more comfortable overall with just presenting in general. Because before then, I thought that every case brief had to be perfect. Every time I got up there, it had to be perfect, it had to be great. I had to have insight about the law, and that really taught me just to take a step back and to stress less. And even though it was embarrassing, I learned a lot of really positive lessons from it.
I think I'd like to share with the 1Ls that you have to believe in yourself. It's so hard to make the adjust. You can be the best in time management and not know how to manage your time once you start law school. So you really have to believe that you're here, you've earned your spot to be here, continue to remember your why, and continue to believe in yourself, and take one day at a time. And the only thing left is to persevere, is to be successful, is to continue pushing through and finish. Also, brief every single one of your cases. Do not look at an outline, anyone else's work. You got to brief every single one of your own cases, because then no one can argue that you're not prepared, and that's the only way to really learn the material. You have to brief your own cases, be prepared for class. Even if you're not sure what to say, you at least have your notes written down so you're ready to go to just give whatever you have on paper, so that way you're also not lost and have to go back and relearn that material, because there's no time. So believe in yourself. Strive for perseverance, one day at a time is all that you can do, and brief your own cases, every single one. Thank you.
So the lesson is, always look everything up. Even when you think you know something, you might not know it, and then you look smarter if you look it up as well.
My one advice is for any moms or dads coming in. It's going to be a lot different than when you were in undergrad, but don't let the negative messaging get to you. Just keep your head up. And the beauty is if you are in daytime, find a part-time evening person, because I guarantee they have kids, they have a a job, they've got everything, and they're carrying the weight of the world on their back too, and they can be a good support for you.
And my advice to incoming 1Ls would be, it's a lot of work. Everything's a lot of work. Everybody's going to tell you need to read. You also need to find time to relax, because burnout comes at you fast. And then you're not going to read anything for weeks or months because you just burned yourself out too fast. So make sure you find time to relax, whatever it is you like to do. Bring balance to law school. It doesn't have to be also academic and hard all the time.